I started a hashtag Back the Browns. No one else was on that hashtag, and they got annihilated by the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, Brad, I think it's one of yours.
It is indeed. Yeah, I mean, annihilated, slapped, destroyed, pounded, whatever word you want to give the Cleveland Browns.
Dog pounded, yeah.
Yeah, that used to be their hashtag, didn't it?
Yeah. Another dominant display from the Cardinals, moving to 6-0. They opened the score with when Kyler Murray, probably now definite favourite for MVP, found Christian Kirk for a touchdown. And the Browns just couldn't keep hold of the ball. It was just the defence of the Cardinals proving too strong, just forcing the Browns into successive punts and turnover on downs. Cardinals then extended the lead to 14-0 with a touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins, and then 2 field goals put them in a commanding 20-0 lead. And the Browns, I mean, yeah, they got a touchdown with probably the best wide receiver name in the NFL, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, that is a class name for 11 yards. So yeah, they got a touchdown there. Cardinals put another field goal up, 23-7, and and the Cardinals defense did get exposed just before halftime. A Hail Mary from Baker Mayfield found the best wide receiver name in the NFL again. That was a massive 57-yard touchdown. And then it just all went downhill again, really, for the Browns. It's where the scoring stopped. It was all Cardinals in the second half. Murray found Hopkins again for 9 yards. And then they sealed off an excellent win. Kyler Murray in the pocket again, too good. Finding AJ Green. And the game ended 37-14. Dominant. Worrying times for the Browns. They've lost 2 in a row. A lot of injuries as well. Breaking news from today is that backup quarterback for Cleveland is starting in Thursday Night Football. So rest in peace, Baker. And yeah, solid win for the Cardinals. And we've mentioned it week on week. Kyler Murray is just getting better and better, really, and that's all you can say.
Yeah, can the Cardinals be stopped? I think it's the thing. I think they were lucky. I think it's all about timing as well in the NFL. They come against the Browns, who, the quarterback's shoulders, like Baker Mayfield's shoulders finished, but he can't throw the ball anyway. Running game was gone. A couple of their O-line was missing as well. From that, so
it was a perfect time to play the Browns. Obviously, they've just come off the back of scoring 42 points and not winning. We'll take that. And then obviously Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb were out and doubts, and then obviously Baker Mayfield gets injured. It's worrying for the Browns because I don't think they've got the squad depth to keep up with their. I mean, they had a pretty solid start to the season, didn't they? But I don't think they've got the squad depth to keep up with momentum that they gained at the start.
I think Landry's out as well.
Really interesting. Sorry, James, because I think that you mentioned the offensive problem, which is really stark, obviously, with Baker Mayfield injury. As I say, to making him throw the ball, this is where we've exposed Cleveland in the past. And I think the talent that you lose, Nick Chubb anyway, is always a big loss, but to lose Kareem Hunt with the way he got injured pretty much off the ball, weren't it, with his calf, I think. So I know that injury very well. Less high profile, I must say. But a big concern for me was defensively as well. I think if you as an O-line eliminate the threat of Myles Garrett, I think the Browns' defense is really ordinary. And obviously, Brad, you were watching this one in more detail than us two. But one of the touchdowns I saw was when Kyler Murray found DeAndre Hopkins. And it was honestly, like when they're at the beginning, before like any crowd even turn up, and they just practice catching the ball. It was literally like that. I couldn't believe how open he was in the back of the end zone. This is arguably the number one wide receiver in the National Football League. And yet he's standing there on his own. You think, what's the safety and the cornerback doing? They just both complete lost responsibility.
It was embarrassing. I mean, I actually got to the London game so early that I did actually watch the warm up. So, but yeah, I mean, it was one of them where like they were just unmarked and was like, "Hi, I can catch a ball," and yeah, it was embarrassing defensively, to be honest, for the Cleveland Browns. And again, they've got injuries. They've picked up even more injuries throughout that game as well. So they are really in trouble, as Professor Filks once said.
I think you look at it as well, and I think that with the, as I say, injuries to O-line, JJ Watt as well, actually really injured Baker Mayfield at one point, it shows you how weak the O-line is. And also as well, I just think, without the run game, they just lose that threat that they have. That's the only reason they called the Chargers problems. It wasn't Baker Mayfield's passing game; it was a combination of Chubb.
Yeah, I mean, the wide receivers were non-existent against the Chargers. It was just that running. It was just that running game of Chubb and Hunt that were too strong for us. And
I think that I look at it as well, and I just think that you look back to their performance at Arrowhead, where they've not played as well since. They should have won that, and all of a sudden, when you do get injuries, you think, well, at least we've already got wins on the ball. But when you're losing games that you should have won, and a diehard Browns fan could argue that when you're leading against the Chargers, although the Chargers were in a position where they were completely dictating the game, and it was in the end when they pushed Austin Eckler into the end zone. But that's a game that they could have argued that as a defense, when you take the lead and scoring 40 plus points, you've got to see that out. So they're losing games they should be winning. They've got battered by the best team in the NFL at the moment. I don't think it'll stay that way, but it is a real worrying time for the Cleveland Browns. Cardinals, like you say, they're using their weapons correctly, aren't they? They're not just solely targeting DeAndre Hopkins. They're mixing it up and giving the likes of Kirk the opportunity to make plays, and AJ Green, former Cincinnati Bengals.
James Conner as well.
To place, don't they? Yeah,
and James Conner as well.
Yeah, and they've got Zach Ertz coming as well after, as I say, the game week just gone. So it's a combination of the Cardinals are absolutely flying, their offense is back to normal, and the Browns are in real trouble.